Hello everyone, welcome back to Gaming Droid and welcome back to Modern Skyblock 3 Stage Mode. So we're going to be working on Embers today because if we go into... So just to say, we had a stream before this episode came out. The stream is on the playlist if you want to go and watch it. In the stream we did basically mainly building. We did a little bit of progression in quests here and there. We did some of the older quests like getting to alternating flux, which was just building machinery and crafting. And we did some of the older quests sort of knocked back here, like in Actual Editions we made the drill and we made the range collector and the solid XP solidifier, which is just an XP gatherer. We also actually managed to make the starlight infuser and the 2 crafting rods. Basically, the thing that was stopping me from making it in the last episode was the fact that it wasn't nighttime. But today we're going to be working on the Embers quest chain. Now, the Embers quest chain is pretty much self-contained. And it's all of the sort of bits and pieces for the Embers mod. And the reason we're working on the Embers quest chain is we want to get down into thermal machinery so that we can start making a lot of marble. Because the Power of the Stars quest chain, which we need to complete to get into extra utilities, requires a lot of marble. And at the moment, the only way to make marble is by combining nether quartz with stone or by using mana. Now, something has changed. In the stream, we tested and found out that Botania is now working. Botania wasn't working for me for a long time. Mana spreaders wouldn't spread mana, so I couldn't generate mana from flowers. But we've now found that Botania is working. We set up a big Botania area. So we will be able to use mana in a mana pool to make diorite to make marble. But thermal expansion has another way of making marble. So we're going to work on Embers today, and hopefully we will get through it. Now, basically everything you need for Embers is listed up here for the most part. We've got copper, lead, silver, dawnstone, and mithril. We also need iron and gold. I don't know if I've got any silver. I do have a stack of silver. So we've got silver, copper, lead, iron, gold. We've also got the ember shards, which are made from sky crystal and blaze, which you saw us making before. We've got a bunch of Carmenite bricks, some spare Carmenite, some Carmenite plates. We've got ancient motive cores and archaic bricks, which are mob drops. We've got some buckets, and of course this has a storage crate keeper, so we can break it and we can head upstairs. This is our Botania area that we've set up, and that is going to be our mob farm. It's not our mob farm yet, but it's going to be our mob farm. And as you can see, our Botania has been generating mana. This is just runic dust that looks pretty. Our Botania has been generating mana, so we can use this as a way of making marble. The way we've been doing that is we've been making charcoal in the furnace, and we've been pumping the charcoal up into a precision dropper that's facing upwards. And then we have a timer, a redstone repeater, and a redstone torch to time it. And basically, because we're using just basic charcoal and we have 10 of these, each one of these has 40 seconds off a single piece of charcoal. So we've got it set on 4 seconds, because 10 of these, 40 seconds divided by 10 equals 4. You don't have to do the silly pressure plate thing, you just have to do the math. So 40 seconds divided by 10 is 4, so this pops up a charcoal every 4. We've run out of charcoal, but we managed to almost fill 3 mana pools. So what we're going to do is we're going to be starting work on the quest for Embers. So the first thing we have to do is make an Ember Activator, and this is how we're going to make how we're going to make power, because Ember uses power, but it's called Ember. It's Ember Power, and it's a kind of, it's supposed to be kind of like broken down crystal, but essentially it is a kind of just transmittable power like redstone and things like that. So first things first, we need to make one of these. Now the other thing we need as well is we need these plates, and normally these plates, if we're using the Embers hammer, cost us 4 iron. But if we're using the Engineer's hammer, those plates can be, if we get through to the immersive engineering ones, they can be made with 1 iron. So I'm just going to use the Engineer's hammer instead, because it makes it a quarter the cost, which is far better off. So copper, iron, and cobblestone makes us an Ember Activator. So Ember Receivers and Emitters. So the Ember Receiver is simple enough, Carmenite plate and some iron and copper, and that gets us 4. And Ember Emitters, these guys, Again, kyanite plate, copper and iron. Pretty simple enough, and that, yeah, that gets us 4. There we go. And we've got some levers in here because we use them for our ember pipes. Ember seems to require quite a bit of just redstone knocking around as you work on things. Redstone signals knocking around as you work on things. So that moves us on to the alloying with Ember and Ash. So alloying with Ember, the mixer centrifuges use Ember to mix 2 different molten metals and make an alloy. So the mixer centrifuge should be simple enough. Mixer centrifuge is just 5 iron plates, copper and a mechanical core, which requires a lead plate and a compass. Ah, I don't have any redstone on me. That's what I forgot to pick up. So we'll just teleport back nice and quick and grab some redstone from the drawer. And mixer. So this thing allows us to mix metals, and Ember has its own collection of metals. Mainly it has metals called Dawnstone. And Dawnstone is going to be one of the things we really want to get into, because Dawnstone allows us to make a Dawnstone anvil and hammer, and the Dawnstone anvil allows us to break down diamond armor into diamonds. Now, our mob farm, back when it was running, churned out hundreds of pieces of diamond armor. So we're going to have no problems with diamonds. Stamping with Ember requires a stamper and a stamping base. So let's look up stamp. So the stamper is kyanite brick, a block of iron, and a copper nugget. That's not a problem. Or sorry, a copper ingot, and that's not a problem. So there's our stamper. And our stamp base requires 2 kyanite brick blocks. Again, not a problem. So I've cooked all of this stuff up in advance. Kyanite is literally just clay and sand, and then to make it into bricks you just cook it, and to make it into plates you just put 2 side by side and cook it. So it's not complicated. We also brought buckets with us because our mob farm churned out buckets in the past. So again, this is very, very basic, but and then it wants us to make all the different stamps. So bar stamp, flat stamp, and plate stamp. So raw flat stamp, raw bar stamp. There we go. And raw plate stamp. Just give it a second. I would have been quick to do it manually. So these things need to be cooked up. That's fine. There we go, that's that complete. Ash is, the cinder plinth uses Ember to turn mundane materials into ash. Ash is needed as a lot of mixers for different things. So that's the Ember, what was it called? I've completely forgotten what it's called, the cinder plinth. Now I've never used Embers before, so I don't really know how I'm going to set all of this stuff up to actually be functional. But let's wait for the immersive engineering one. If you have this cycling thing going on, just hold down shift when you get to the one you want. If you hold down shift when you get to the one you want, it will pause the rotation for you. And then we need another kyanite brick, which is fine. That's not difficult. And there's a cinder plinth. And that wants us to make ash piles, so we actually have to set the cinder plinth up working. Dawnstone requires us to mix gold and copper. Aspecti. Before you can get into the alchemical part of Embers, you're going to need Aspecti. Okay, so we're at a point where we're going to need to start doing things. So the Ember Activator, this is our power source. I'm presuming we put embers in the top. We then need Ember Transmitters, which I presume do this. And then we're going to need the mixer centrifuge, which needs liquid metals. Now, how do we melt things? Because I presume in Embers there is a way to melt metals, because we need to. So there's a fluid tank, and a copper cell, bin, a melter. There we go, that looks about right. So kyanite brick, kyanite plate, a copper and iron. Okay, so let's make a melter, because that sounds like it melts fluids, and we need to make Dawnstone soon. So let's make a melter. And we'll put the melter... I see, so that's where the liquid comes out. I'm presuming the liquid goes in at the top for this thing. So what I probably want is I probably want this 1 block away so that I can then use the pipes we brought with us, fluid extractor and a fluid pipe, to go like that and pump fluids into this thing. They don't have any internal internal ones and internal machinery or anything. So I'm presuming I put connectors on here and here, and then bind these together like that. Now, let's see what happens if I put some ember crystals in our ember burner. Okay, so we can item pipe the embers in. And that gives us burning ember. We've got 12 ember crystals in there. Okay, so you can put things in. It is burning up the ember. Oh, that burns that up quick. Okay. So my next question is, do I have to item pipe things into this to make them melt? So let's get a chest here with an item extractor and some piping. And go extractor and pipe. And then we'll put gold in here. I can't because the pipe's on top of it, that's fine. So. There we go. So now we're producing ember and having it flow into there. Okay, and you are filling up with ember. I presume I can't see you filling up with ember, but I presume you are. And then this starts melting things. Okay. And that should start, eventually once that melts, should start pumping. There we go, we've got liquid gold there. And then if we give this a signal, that pours liquid gold into the tank here. So liquid gold in the mixer centrifuge. Okay. So this is what we're aiming for, Dawnstone. And Dawnstone is a combination of, in the stamping press, of copper and gold. And what was, oops, I should have actually had a look at mixer. It's 4 and 4, so it's 1 to 1. So we used 2 ingots of gold. So let's throw in 2 ingots of copper. Shift right click, right click. Ah, okay, so emitters can only emit to 1 thing at a time. Okay. I see. Requires a lot of redstone. Oh, so that's already got gold in it, but we need to add, this is the centrifuge. Can we add it down here? So where's our copper gone? It's not in there. So let's try again. 2 copper. Slowly burning through my ember crystals. Oh wait. That's got molten copper. And that's got molten gold. Oh! Oh, I think I see what's going on here. I think I need to put this into the bottom. I see. I think the top is the essentially the output of it. Okay, so if I put you here and then you here and then have you output like that, pull the gold out, put the gold in the bottom. There we go. So that's mixing that, and now we've got molten dawnstone in the bottom. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so it's a little bit confusing. Like normally you'd expect the mixer to, especially because both have 4 attachments on them, you'd expect the mixer to input at the top, output at the bottom. But it apparently inputs at the bottom and outputs at the top. Now we've got some Dawnstone in there. Okay, so now that we know that, we can put a fluid extractor there. And that's an item pipe, not a fluid pipe. Fluid pipe, fluid pipe, fluid pipe, fluid pipe. So if we melt down, say, 10 ingots of copper, and then we can melt down some gold to mix in, because we're going to need quite a bit of Dawnstone. So, actually melt down another 10 ingots of copper. Yeah, these tanks are very big. That's fine. These tanks are nice and big. And that can store quite a lot of metal, actually. So then we need 20 ingots of gold to melt down as well. And I'll come back when... Actually, no, let's have a look at what we need for the ash piles, as we have this as well. So apparently this breaks down basic resources into ash piles. That's sending that there, and this can take basic... Ooh, nope, don't take my things. Let's burn some archaic bricks. Okay, that just burns up a stack of archaic bricks into ash piles. That's fine. You just stick it in the top and it burns up. Okie dokie. Nine copper ingots left to burn up in there. How much have we got here? Ember crystals are fine. Make some more. Hello everyone and welcome back. So that's all melted up. Now I've been doing a little bit of reading in the meantime. Apparently we can make a pressure refinery, which is a much better way of using up our crystals when we need ember. So once this has burned through all 6 of its crystals, we'll probably look at making a pressure refinery. One of these guys, which is just copper, a block of copper, iron, a furnace. Now this thing increases the efficiency of the crystals by 50%, and then it can increase it by another, I think it's 25% for each block of lava that is in a circle around it. One block down in a circle, so in the floor. So we might look at doing that to get up to, apparently it's maxes out at times 3%, roughly times 3%. So, yeah, I've still got sound. Sorry, for some reason my sound's kind of a little bit weird. So we've also mixed up 6,336 buckets or 336 millibuckets of Dawnstone using this. Now I do need to swap this over because this isn't needing anything anymore. So now we can bind this one to here, and that should send Ember up and round to that. Now I think this is correct. So this is the stamper base. We're going to make a bin, which is kind of like an auto output, almost like a hopper, but specifically for embers. And that's simple enough. Let's get to the Immersive Engineering one. Tech Reborn, Thorncraft, Immersive Engineering. There we go. Make one of those, and we can make ourselves a bin. Now what we're supposed to do with this is we put this underneath here, like this, and this should collect all of the items from here. And then we give this the fluid we want it to have, which is Dawnstone. Like so. That's item pipes, not fluid pipes. I wish there was some differentiation between the pipes. It would make it a lot easier if it was like... There is a slight colour difference, but in your inventory it's almost impossible to tell which is which. That's going to pour in there, and then... So yes, now we're getting Dawnstone ingots. Excellent. Now I think I can just collect the Dawnstone ingots like that. Lovely. And that moves us past the starting stage into the Dawnstone age. Now we have also collected ash from the cinder pile, and for some reason it didn't detect that we had built the cinder pile, so again we'll just pick that up and detect it. There we go. So now we've got aspecti. I had a little look up on aspecti. Aspecti are a crystal surrounded with the responsible metal, and we use that for the alchemical processes. Firing my lasers. The beam cannon uses Ember to fire a beam that can either kill a line of mobs or activate exchange tablets. So this thing is kind of like the mana bore from Britannia, kind of like the mana ball from Britannia. It uses mana to fire a line of energy to either cut through blocks, kill mobs, depending on what you do with it. This thing is very, very similar. This thing, the beam cannon. So for that we need Dawn Metal, which we've got. So the beam cannon requires copper plates, ember crystals, Camonite block, and Dawnstone. None of those are going to be a problem. Beam splitter, as you would expect, allows you to split the beam and fire in multiple directions. Immersive engineering. 2, 3, 4. And that should allow us to make a beam cannon. Like so. And the beam cannon, if we feed it with energy, will allow us to activate the alchemical things. Now the alchemy is going to be a reasonably complicated thing, so we're not going to jump into that immediately. There we go, right click to get them. But one thing we do want to look at immediately is the automatic anviling. This requires a Dawnstone anvil and an automatic hammer. So the Dawnstone anvil is down here, and it's very easy to make. We just need 3 blocks of Dawnstone, which is the expensive thing. But Dawnstone isn't that expensive. Like gold and copper, at least in this mod pack, because we're not mining it up, we're making it, isn't particularly difficult to get hold of. So there's our anvil, and then it wants us to make the automatic hammer straight away, which is a block of iron. Again, not particularly expensive. Iron, a block of copper. It's fine. As you can see, we're kind of swimming in metal resources at the moment. And then some Camonite stairs. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that allows us to make some Camonite stairs. And then we can make the hammer. Now, as far as I'm aware, and we'll read this together because I've read this once, but metallurgic constructs, yes. So the Dawnstone Anvil is a resilient Dawnstone, leads itself well to use as an anvil. The Dawnstone Anvil may be used to both repair items and break items down for their component parts. Place a damaged item on the anvil, then its repair material, then give it a good couple of whacks with a tinker's hammer to repair it. Place the damaged item alone and give it some strong blows and it will break apart into its component pieces. Hammering bits of metal into your tools by hand takes a very long time. With a bit of Ember Power, you believe you have a solution. The automatic hammer simply refines redstone power, and a bit of Ember Power will handle hammering with Dawnstone Anvil much more forcefully and faster than you manually could. So basically this is just a way of speeding it up. Now, this does need Ember Power, but Ember Power, as we've seen, is not insanely difficult to get hold of. So we do this. No, we need to put this here, like that. Okay. That's not too bad. And this thing requires Ember Power, which again shouldn't be a massive challenge. We just need to put a receiver on it, like so, and then use our hammer to attach this receiver to this transmitter. Now I presume they have a way of like storing one. I presume this like stores up Ember, and then sooner or later it's just going to stop transmitting, because this one stopped transmitting. And this one is for this. So, oh no, that one's for this. This one is for this, and it's not doing anything. So I presume that they stopped transmitting when they filled it with power. We can also pipe out of these bins, as you can see the little pipe connections. So what I do want to do is just check this out, because I have over in here an anti-barrel that is full of things we can break down. So let's just grab a diamond chest plate. Protection 2 and Thorns. Don't care about those. If I wanted to, I could use the Action Edition's laser to disenchant them and actually get the disenchantments. So, do I have to turn you on with a redstone signal? There we go. And that gives us 8 diamonds. So, the next question is, can I pipe into this? Can I pipe items into this? Or can I hopper items into this? So can I? I can. Okay, so now I can automate this with a ranged collector and just basically make smash up all the diamond armor. Okay, so that's automatable. That's absolutely wonderful. I like that. That's great that that's automatable. And Ember Modifiers. So the ancient, you can add an ancient motif core to tools that are on a Dawnstone Anvil for them to start gaining heat when used. After they've gained a good amount of heat, they can drop them into the Inferno Forge to add a modifier slot to them. Then you'll be able to add certain modifiers to them with the Dawnstone Anvil. Oh, so you can make your tools better. So what do we need for the Inferno Forge? We need 2 Dawnstone blocks, which I can't afford, so I need to melt down some more copper and gold. So in the meantime, we need to make some aspects for the alchemy. So we need to make these guys, and these guys are, in the stamping press, these are a plate combined with a little bit of metal and an ember shard. And we need a little bit of each. So it's an ingot's worth of metal. That's fine, we can set that up reasonably easily. I'm kind of tempted to set up a second melter, actually. But in the other thing we want to look at is this guy, the pressure refinery. A block of copper isn't expensive, and neither is the furnace. But this thing is apparently a much more efficient way of burning our ember. It's still got a little bit of ember in it, that's fine. So we've got a hopper. Apparently we can hopper into these things. So, and then we can make this a lot more efficient by adding some lava around here, if I'm reading the book correctly. And lava is not that hard to come by if we can get some buckets. I'm going to put it on the cardinal directions because I don't know if it is anything other than the cardinal directions. So that apparently makes that a lot more efficient. That's a pressure refinery. Ah, it needs water as well. That's the other thing it needed. It needed lava and water. Well, for the meantime, I'll just pinch our infinite water source sink. Actually, no, I can pinch this infinite water source because the sink is now its own infinite water source. Back in an earlier version of this mod pack, the sink wasn't an infinite water source, so I had to put a water generator underneath it. But now it is an infinite water source, so I don't need a water generator underneath it. So that now fills that up with water. And then we just need to give it ember shards. This guy's run out of ember. It's fine. So we can put an ember transmitter here and give it a lever. And then we just need to give you some shards, and you should be far more efficient in your use of ember shards. Okie dokie. So I think we've got it sorted now. I think basically there's a little bit of a sort of confusion going on with things. But hopefully this will now start melting copper. That copper will flow into here. That's why, because it didn't have enough energy, that's why we have excess copper. That's fine. We can actually use the excess copper to make the crystal shards for the stamping press. Because if we look at alchemical or aspect, we need to stamp these with a plate stamp and an ember shard. We need to put the ember shard in, and we need to stamp it with a plate stamp. This now has a plate stamp in it. The intention being that it's going to stamp out plates of dawnstone once this melts. Which again, it stopped receiving. It's again stopped receiving power, but that definitely contains embers. There we go. Huh, weird. I'm not sure what's going on there. You need to have it on the bottom, of course, because the bottom is the one that actually takes in the pap. Yeah, that's my fault. I was being a derp. And now we're producing Dawnstone plates. Lovely. I wonder if I can time this right. There we go. So we've got the Dawnstone one. We don't need... We can put away the Ember Activator, the hammer, and the Dawnstone Anvil for now. We can put away the beam cannon for now. Put away the copper cell for now, and the cinder plinth for now. Right, that's tidied up our inventory a little bit. Oh! That gave me 4 Dawnstone Aspectus. Okay, that was more than I thought I was going to get from that. And now we've got molten copper in here. That's fine. If we pop you, we put you in there, and then we put the fluid extractor down here and give it a lever. Should pump the copper out of these. No? So the tanks are specific to sides. Okay. That's fine. So, fluid extractor. Fluid pipe, fluid pipe, fluid pipe. Lever. There's a copper aspectus. And fluid extractor. Copper aspectus. Copper aspectus. Copper aspectus. Copper aspectus, that's fine. That gives us Dawnstone and copper. What other aspectus did we need? We needed lead, silver, and iron. Okay, so lead, silver, and iron. So all I'm going to do there is actually attach a fluid extractor to there. No, I've actually put it in, attach it to there, and bring it out and across. So we're just going to extract into this one, and we're going to turn this off and give you 3, 3, and 3. So that should melt it down, pump it straight into here, and it should pop out Aspectus. Now, for some reason it doesn't send the Aspectus into the bin, it pops that into the whole world, but that's fine. That's not a problem. So while we're doing that, I will skip forwards and we will see where we end up. Okay, so that was reasonably quick and easy. That got us all of those. So now we're looking at Advanced Ember Transfer, which is the Ember Spread Burst and the Ember Funnel. So let's look Ember. So the Ember Relay, Ember Lantern. We don't actually have... Oh, they may be from a different one. Spread. They're from Soot. So we need an Ember Crystal Cluster, which requires alchemy. And the funnel requires nothing. So the Ember Funnel basically allows us to attach multiple transmitters to the same point, which allows us to transfer faster into a machine. And the Spread Burst allows us to attach multiple machines to a single point to receive. So what we need to do next is we need to start with alchemy. We need an exchange table and 5 alchemical pedestals. Let's have a look at that. So the exchange table, or the pedestals, let's start with the pedestals. So we need Dawnstone plates, Dawnstone, Ember crystals, copper blocks. Sure we have some sure we made some Dawnstone plates. Or have I used up all the Dawnstone plates already? Okay, so I need to make some more Dawnstone plates. That's fine. Okay, and we're back. So this is now setting up. I put this in the bottom instead of the top, but I fixed it. This is now pumping out Dawnstone plates. There we go. Up to 15, that's fine. And now what we should be able to do is make our 5 pedestals. 2 of our pedestals. What are we missing? We're missing Camnite stairs, that's fine. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's make a whole bunch of Camnite stairs. And 1, 2, 3. So there's our 5 alchemical pedestals. And then we need 2 Camnite bricks. And we need a copper plate. Let's get round to the immersive engineering one. There it is. And that allows us to make a exchange table. Now, I need the beam shooter to shoot a beam into this, so we're going to pop it here for now. And then we need to put the pedestals around it, or near it. According to the instruction manual, we need to put the pedestals near it. So let's do like this. And detach you from there. So let's do like that for now. Actually, you should probably be here and here for now. So let's do that for now. So, if we have a look at the recipes it wants us to, and I didn't do the detection quest. So let's try that. Detect. Back. So let's have a quick read. The exchange table allows you to make more advanced Embers items. The crafting process isn't simple though. In the middle you'll need to have the exchange table. On it you can place items. Near it there need to be pedestals. Every pedestal needs to be marked with an aspectus. Look at the recipe for whatever you want to make in JI. Put the corresponding items on the table. Fill up the pedestals with the corresponding aspecti. With an amount of ash between the amount shown, and fire the cannon. With an amount of ash between the amount shown. Fire the cannon at it. If the amount of ash was incorrect, you'll get alchemical waste. That will tell you how much you were off by. Okay. So let's have a look what it wants us to do next. It wants us to do Ignum Reactor, Antimony, and Ember Modifiers. So the Ember Modifiers, basically we can create a whole bunch of modifiers for weapons. I've had a look at them. There's like explosions, shooting ember, things like this. It's nothing shockingly amazing. But there's some interesting stuff. One of the really interesting ones is the resonating. If you provide resonating to a tool, you can then use that tool to right-click on, say, a diamond block while mining, and all around you, within a certain distance, diamond blocks will light up even through other blocks, so you'll be able to see them. That's an interesting modifier. Antimony. Antimony can be used as a replacement for emeralds in villager trades. Okay. To make it, you need to add an alchemical recombulator to the side of the top block of a mixer centrifuge and surround it with pedestals with aspecti. Fill up the pedestals with an amount of ash between that given JI, and if it's wrong, you'll get alchemical waste every few seconds, but the ash in the pedestals won't be used up. Okay, that's interesting. And then this one is the Ignum Reactor. The Ignum Reactor consists of multiple Ember machines running together. It allows you to produce more Ember from your Ember shards. Okay, so it requires a combustion chamber, a catalyst chamber, and an Ignum Reactor. Let's have a look at that. Combustion chamber. That requires Ember Crystal. So we need 3 Ember shards, an Ember Crystal, and a gunpowder. And then we need, what, 1, 2... We need 2 Dawnstone, 2 copper, and 1 silver. 2 Dawnstone, 2 copper, and a silver. Okay, so that's Ember, 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 gunpowder, and Ember Crystal. Ember Crystal, Ember, Ember, Ember. Wait, can I not? Ah, I see. 1, 2, 3. This pedestal's going to have to go... Why can you not go on that block? For some reason it won't go on that block there. Very strange. Can I put you on that block now? Very, very odd indeed. And then we need gunpowder, which is back over here. Like so. Now, it says the amount of ash shown. It doesn't show any ash. So let's look up uses of this. Where's our ash? Ash. So let's have a look. This says 2448. Let's put 31 ash in. So this is 21 to 48 for the Dawnstone Aspectus. So let's do Dawnstone Aspectus and the ash. Ah, I get you. I get you. I get how it is. So then we need a copper aspectus with 24 to 48. And then we need a silver aspectus with 0 to 24. Oh, this is going to use up a lot of aspectus, isn't it? Because this is not necessarily going to be right. Then we need our beam cannon. And we need to point the beam cannon at it, which I presume we do by doing that. And then we need to attach a receiver to it. And then we can bind the receiver to that. And when it's charged up, it should fire. Wow, okay. This is pretty cool. Do I need to shoot it again? Okay, so that didn't use up our aspectus. Okay, so did it... it did use up the ash. Okay, so we need to be concerned about ash. So we were 6 off with the silver, 13 off, and 24 off with the copper. So if we were 24 off with the copper, we need to add 48. Oh, wow. Okay. This is very complicated. So what I'm probably going to have to do is I'm probably going to have to call the episode here. I need to make a ton of ash. An absolute ton of ash. And I'm going to have to work on this. And I'm actually going to have to keep a record of how many I did. So it was 24 off with the copper. I used 24. So I'm going to need 48 for the copper. I was 13 off with the Dawnstone. So I'm either going to need... Because I used 24. I'm either going to need 1... which I can't possibly need. Oh no, I used 30. I used 31, didn't I? So I'm either going to need 16, which I can't possibly need, or I'm going to need 48. Or no, 47. And I was 6 off with the silver, and I used 7. So I'm either going to need with the silver, I'm either going to need 13 or 1. Wow, okay. This is going to be an interesting process. This is going to be a very interesting process indeed. So what I will probably do is I will probably make an absolute bunch of ash. And in the next episode, we will come back and I will have a look at completing the Dawnstone, or completing the Embers chain, and doing these last final few quests. So thank you all for watching. I've been the Game Droid. This has been Skyblock 3, and I will see you all in the next episode. Bye-bye, everybody.